My name is Reed Yobe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to talk to Zimbabweans that are living in the diaspora. I want us to talk about death. You don't know when you're going to die, and you don't know when you're going to lose a member of the family or your loved one. I therefore would like to take this opportunity to encourage someone to have a funeral policy. A funeral policy that is going to cover you and your loved ones. There are very few people that have got funeral policies. Very few. And I'm sure you have heard of stories where people died and they didn't have policies. And people had to run around looking for donations so that they can repatriate the body back home to Zimbabwe. Can you just try now to imagine what will happen if a member of the family dies back home in Zimbabwe? And people will be expecting you maybe to cover some of the funeral expenses, if not all. Remember, majority of people that are working, that are living in the diaspora, they are the ones that are looking after the people that are back home. So if you are still alive and something is to happen, a member of the family is to die in Zimbabwe, people will expect you to cover the funeral expenses. Can you even try to imagine if you've got siblings or maybe family members that you're living with in the diaspora? You're probably not living in the same country, or if you're living in the same country, maybe you are not living in the same city. And then one dies and you've got nothing. I say nothing because you know how much money is required just to cover the funeral expenses. The coffin itself is very expensive. I'm sure we've all heard stories. I've been at a number of times a part of WhatsApp groups that were created as people were trying to raise money for funeral expenses, because the person or the people who had died, they didn't have funeral policies. There are some people who had to go on Facebook looking for donations. You don't want to be that kind of a person who, when they die, people start running around looking for donations so that they can send your body back home, because a lot of money is required. There are people whose plans were messed up. We all have goals and dreams that we want to achieve, and people are having savings, maybe because they want to buy property back home in Zimbabwe. After saving a lot of money, then a family member dies, and that money that you were saving for something, or maybe to buy property, you end up diverting funds because you didn't have a funeral policy. Please, people, I just want to encourage someone. There are quite a number of funeral policies, companies that offer funeral policies, policies that are designed especially to help Zimbabweans. Ask around. If you don't know about the companies that I'm talking about, ask around. I wish I could tell you, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do so. Because if I'm to tell you, it might end up sounding like an advertisement. And I'm not here to advertise for any company, but I'm here to help. Please, you don't want to be that kind of a person who, when they die, people start running around looking for donations. What if you lose a family member, your loved one, back home in Zimbabwe? And this can happen when you know, it's not everyone that has got savings. Some people are living from hand to mouth. This is why I am saying, please have a funeral policy and cover the people that you know. If they are to die today, you will be expected to cover the funeral expenses. Have a policy and make sure that every month you pay your monthly premium. Funeral expenses can be significant and unexpected, so a funeral policy provides financial relief. I hope through this video I help someone. My name is Reed Yobe.